If their opinion controls you, you're not free. Right now, someone you barely respect can shift your mood with a look, a text left on read, a joke you didn't laugh at, a pause in their voice. And you call it being polite. You call it being easy to work with. You call it keeping the peace. But it's not peace. It's submission dressed as kindness. Stop needing approval isn't a motivational phrase. It's a declaration of independence. Because approval seeking doesn't just make you softer. It makes you anxious. It makes you fake. It makes your boundaries negotiable. And the more you chase validation, the more you teach people that your spine is optional. Most men think approval seeking is a personality trait. No, I'm just a nice guy. No, I just care what people think. No, I don't like conflict. Stoicism would call that what it is: a dependence. You're outsourcing your identity to the crowd. And when the crowd becomes your judge, your life becomes a courtroom. Every conversation is a trial. Every relationship becomes a negotiation. Every decision becomes a performance. So you become careful. You don't speak clearly. You don't ask for what you want. You don't say no when you mean no. And you wonder why you feel tired all the time. You're tired because you're acting. Stoicism is the opposite. Stoicism is training yourself to be ruled by principle, not applause, not likes, not approval, not the emotional weather of other people. Independence isn't isolation. Independence is self-rule. And today you're going to build the Stoic foundation of it. Not with quotes and philosophy posters. With protocols. Rule number 1, name the chain. Here's the first hard truth. You don't want approval. You fear disapproval. That's the chain. You fear being disliked, being misunderstood, being judged, being excluded. So you pre-comply. You apologize when you didn't do anything wrong. You explain yourself to people who aren't owed an explanation. You soften your words so nobody feels the edge of your truth. And it feels safe, but it's not safety. It's dependency. You're at work. Someone dumps a task on you late Friday. You already have plans. You're already overloaded. They say, "Can you just handle this real quick?" And you feel it. That internal pressure. If I say no, I'll look difficult. Weak response. You smile. You say sure. You cancel your plans. You resent them later. Then you hate yourself for being too nice. Stoic warrior response. You pause. You breathe. You answer like a man who owns his time. I can't take that on today. I can do it Monday morning, or you'll need another solution. That's not rude. That's reality. Where in your life are you being nice, when what you really mean is, "I'm scared you'll reject me"? Write down the first name that comes to mind. That's one of your chains. Rule number 2. Build an inner court. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "I have to remember that I am a part of the whole." Modern translation. You have a role, a duty, a standard. But here's what most men do instead. They live in an outer court. They let their friends decide what's cool. Women decide what's attractive. Coworkers decide what's competent. Strangers decide what's respectable. That's not a life. That's a pole. Stoic independence begins when you build an inner court. A private court of law inside your mind. And only a few judges are allowed in. Your principles. Your purpose. Your discipline. Your long-term character. Not the mood of the day. Not who clapped. Not who frowned. You post something online. It doesn't get the response you wanted. You feel stupid. You feel exposed. You tell yourself, maybe I should delete it. Weak response. You spiral. You refresh. You chase a better reaction. You tailor your thoughts to what gets approved. Stoic warrior response. You ask one question. Was it true? Was it useful? Was it aligned with who I am becoming? If yes, it stays. If no, you adjust. Not because they judged you, but because you judged you. If you removed other people's opinions for 30 days, what would you finally do? What would you finally say? Rule number 3. Purpose over popularity. Approval seeking is often a symptom of a deeper problem. You don't have a clear mission. So, you borrow missions from other people. You become what she wants, what your friends want, what your boss wants, what your family expects. And you call that being mature. But it's not maturity. It's drift. Stoicism gives you a harsh, freeing idea. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be useful. Useful to your values. Useful to your craft. Useful to the people you're responsible for. When purpose becomes the compass, approval becomes background noise. A woman pulls away a little. Her tone changes. You feel it. Panic. You start over-texting, over-explaining, over-giving, trying to win her back. Weak response. You chase, you bargain, you perform. You become smaller to keep her. Stoic warrior response. You return to your mission. You keep your routine. You keep your standards. You don't punish her. You don't plead. You simply stop negotiating your dignity. If she returns with respect, good. If she leaves, you don't collapse, because she was never your foundation. Purpose was. Be honest. Are you building your life? Or are you building a personality designed to be chosen? Rule number 4. Boundary equals behavior. Most nice guys think boundaries are something you announce. They think it's a conversation. I just want to communicate my needs. But the moment your boundary requires their approval, it's not a boundary. It's a request. Stoic boundaries are simple. You decide what you will and won't accept. Then you act accordingly. No drama, no threats, no speeches, just behavior. A friend constantly disrespects your time. Late every time. Cancels last minute. My bad, bro. You laugh it off because you don't want to be too serious. Weak response. You keep inviting him. You keep being available. You keep rewarding disrespect with access. Stoic warrior response. You change the rules. Let me know when you're ready to be on time. I'll plan with people who respect schedules. And then you follow through. Stoicism isn't cruelty. It's clarity. What boundary have you communicated, but never enforced? That's not a boundary. That's hope. Rule number 5. Voluntary discomfort training. Approval seeking isn't just a bad habit. It's a pain avoidance strategy. You don't chase approval because you love praise. You chase approval because you hate discomfort. The awkward silence. The no face. The possibility that someone might be disappointed in you. So you smooth everything over. You explain too much. You apologize too fast. You agree when you don't agree. And every time you do that, you train your nervous system to believe discomfort equals danger. Stoicism flips that. Stoicism teaches discomfort is training. Voluntary discomfort means you choose small, controlled discomfort on purpose. So you stop being controlled by the fear of it. Not reckless discomfort. Strategic discomfort. The kind that builds a spine. A coworker pushes a task onto you last minute again. You feel the surge. That heat in your chest. That instinct to smile and say yes. Because saying no will create tension. So your old self tries to escape it. Weak response. You say yes. You over-explain why it's fine. You resent them later. You lose respect for yourself quietly. Stoic warrior response. You pause. You breathe once. You speak clean. I can't do that today. I can do it Monday, or it needs to go to someone else. Then you do the hard part. You don't rush to fix their reaction. You don't add a paragraph. You don't apologize for having a boundary. You let the discomfort sit in the room. And you don't die. That's the point. Here's the protocol. Hold the heat. For the next 7 days, train 1 rep per day. Say 1 clean no without a story. Stop negotiating your boundary after you've stated it. Let the tension exist for 10 seconds without rescuing it. That 10 seconds is your forge. Most men can't tolerate it. So they trade self-respect for short-term comfort. You won't. If you can't handle 10 seconds of tension, you'll live inside someone else's expectations forever. Now, lock this in. Rule number 1, name the chain. You don't crave approval. You fear disapproval. That fear is the leash. And once you see it, you can stop obeying it. Rule number 2, build an inner court. Stop letting outsiders vote on your worth. Your principles judge you, not their mood. You answer to character, not applause. Rule number 3, purpose over popularity. If you don't choose your mission, you'll drift into pleasing people. Purpose gives you direction, and direction makes opinions smaller. Rule number 4, boundary equals behavior. A boundary isn't a speech. It's what you tolerate and what you remove access from. You don't argue, you act. Rule number 5, voluntary discomfort training. You stop running from tension. You choose it in small doses, on purpose. So fear stops owning your voice. This is the Stoic foundation of independence. You stop performing. You stop negotiating. You stop living for validation. Pressure doesn't break you, it reveals you. Disapproval isn't danger, it's a test. A man with standards doesn't kneel for applause. You're not broken. You're unfinished steel under the hammer. Don't run from the fire. Step into it. That's how you stay forged.